try to make this a long ramble. I don't know how long it's gonna get. Here today or tonight, I'm filming it at Saturday night. It's gonna be going up Sunday morning. We went to see. I'm also gonna probably be popping from soft-spoken to whispering in this video on purpose, not realizing, but went to Foxwoods yesterday, came home today, went to see Pussifer Perfect Circle Primus show at the Premier Theater in Foxwoods. It was for Maynard's 60th. He's turning 60, I don't know when. Sometime soon, but he's doing a little tour with those bands. I think we'll tour together in their 50th, his 50th birthday as well. Really good show. Every band sounded great. I think people got the most excited and pumped for Primus. I mean, me personally, I did. They were the main reason I wanted to go, and then I've been getting into Perfect Circle more lately, so I was like, that's cool. And Pussifer's got some alright stuff. I don't know a lot after their first album, but I did recognize some of the songs. There was 30 songs total, and the three bands each had a tune. Maynard sang on each song, but he would have been singing on the Pussifer and Perfect Circle songs anyway. But every band had a new song that they're just playing on this tour, I guess. My favorite's the Primus one. Maynard sings on it. I think it's Pablo's Hippos, it's called. The Pussifer one's solid too. I wasn't too into I think it's called Kindred. The Perfect Circle one, but it opened with Perfect Circle. They would bounce back and forth. There's Perfect Circle, a couple of songs. Primus, Pussifer, back to Perfect Circle, Primus, they would rotate. And then the last song was a Pussifer song, I think it's called Grand Canyon. Or Cosmo, no, that Cosmo Canyon's from Final Fantasy VII. It was Grand Canyon, but everybody played. He had the one woman who was, I'm pretty sure she played on, or sang, or did some other stuff on one of the Pussifer albums, I believe. Or maybe it was Perfect Circle, I don't know. She was there, I think her name's Karina something. Primus played 8, well, technically 9, if you're counting the Pablo's Hippos, the new song, but they played 8 of their other stuff. Perfect Circle and Pussifer each played 9, and then they did the 3 new ones. Primus played Tommy the Cat, but instead it was Maynard the Cat, so Maynard was doing the, on the album, was it Tom Waits on the album that did the singing for Tommy the Cat himself, playing the character. This is Maynard the Cat, and he had the book out, trying to put the flashlight, looking at the lyrics. It was pretty funny. And some of the band members popped in and out of other band songs as well. Like, at one point, Maynard was playing Claypool was playing the upright bass with the pig mask, and a couple of, I want to say it was Perfect Circle songs. Larry Lalone popped out on one. The 3 drummers from each band did a thing, which was cool. They had the stage had the 3 drum sets up top, and there was these Stairmaster type things on the sides, and they would go up and go up and around the other band members. Really good though. Primus played Damn Blue Collar Tweakers. Jerry Was a Race Car Driver, My Name Is Mud, Sergeant Baker, Too Many Puppies, Southbound Pachyderm, and Follow the Fool, which was actually my favorite of the. They did 3 songs maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, and that was my favorite of the 3. So I was like, this is one of those newer ones they had. I recognize most of the Perfect Circle songs outside of like two, but I really wanted to hear Weak and Powerless, which they played the package they opened up with, which is great. Hollow they played, Judith, The Outsider. Oh, I forget the. No, how many was that? Did I just name? The Contrarian they played. That's Perfect Circle song, right? And Pussifer played like Indigo Children was one. I said Grand Canyon, Mama Seed or whatever. This Bullet Train to Iowa or something like that. Like I said, I don't remember. I knew some of the songs, but I didn't recognize some of the other album. First album I recognized those. Overboard or Man Overboard they played. Really good show they all sounded. My favorite was Primus and Perfect Circle. I did a little gambling on the slot machines throughout the day, and after the show, I ended up down like $50 total. I wanted to kind of just play with 100. That was a good time. I was actually, and I have it here, because I want to kind of discuss a little Resident Evil Village here. I just completed it again. I was playing through it again. I had mentioned it, and I just completed it. It was funny. I was fighting Miranda in the last boss battle, and I died twice, and I was like, I remember when I originally beat this was a tough battle, and I was like, you know what? I went back to the main menu, because I had a bunch of the points you could spend on the dolls, and the figurines, and the concept art, and weapons, so I'm like, I'm gonna get unlimited, because I was able to purchase unlimited ammo for the grenade launcher, and then I also purchased with unlimited ammo the one gun when you use Chris Redfield briefly in the game, and he has this cool machine gun, so I did that too. I'm like, you know what, I've already beaten this game legit, I'm just gonna screw around now, and I just launched grenades at her for the whole fight, took her out pretty quickly. It was fun. But people were mentioning about this game, like in the comments when I was talking about it in some of my other videos. You know how they weren't necessarily super into this one, but they liked. I actually have the Xbox on now because they have a spring sale going on, so I was looking at some games. They didn't like this one nearly as much as 7, and I'm the same way. Like 7 in reality, especially on the second playthrough. I'm pretty sure I reviewed this game, and I probably talked about it in the review. 7 is absolutely the better game. In my opinion, it's actually quite a bit better than this one. It's 10 times creepier than this one. This one fell into the Resident Evil pit kind of trap of it just turned into an action game, you know. There was creepy parts like whatever the house is called when you fight Donna and the doll Angie. That's legitimately like a good creepy area, but it doesn't last long. This game I'm pretty sure is shorter than 7 as well, which is kind of nuts. But like even the castle, the first one, the Messenger, however you say her name, that area is not long. The next one with Donna in the house, one with all the creepy shit, and the giant baby that eats you. It's a form-looking baby that eats you. If you get close, it's like Jason, you gotta hide from it. It's very short. And even Moreau's area is short. Now, that's the third fight, and then Heisenberg's the fourth one. The game loses a ton after the Donna and the Angie, the doll boss fight, because the castle and that house are great, and then you have the stuff you're doing in the village itself, which is cool. It's like the hub area, but you have to also do other specific things there. But it goes downhill after that, in my opinion. The factory, Heisenberg's factory part sucks. And I know it doesn't suck. I know I bitched about this last time, at least when I was playing. I don't know if I mentioned my review the first time I played it. It's overly fucking long. They throw a bunch of pain in the ass enemies at you that you can take out. And I was just, this time playing through, I was taking them out fairly easy, but a bunch of them, it goes on way too long, in my opinion, this part. And I think it's the weakest section. I don't know, Moreau's section's probably the weakest. But it's short. His is super short, too. The Heisenberg boss fight's cool because you're using that kind of cool thing with the little chainsaw and the missiles and the gun. But his area, I was like, yeah, I definitely forgot how annoying this was and how long it went on. It went on too long, in my opinion. His section, and not that it was overly long in terms of the overall time of the game, but it was definitely much longer than the other parts. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It really, and playing through it the second time, I mean, I always, playing the first time, I was like, cool game, but 7's much better. It's almost, after playing this one a second time, 7 just even becomes more better for me, in my opinion. 7 is absolutely creepier than this one. It's not even close. Outside of, like I said, a few parts in this one, this game's really not that creepy, and it's very action-oriented in this one. Especially like in Heisenberg's factory, like you're just constantly, enemies are coming for you, these like kind of robotic enemies, and they got like drills and stuff. You gotta take out a bunch of those. It's just, it became too, the story's kind of cool with Ethan and how you find out like what happened to us and stuff, but I don't know. If I was like, I probably gave this like an 8.5 or even a 9 maybe. I'm pretty sure I did review it. But if I didn't, I would honestly even go like a 7.5 on this one. Like, it's just not. Cops going around. It's just not that. I don't know. Playing it the second time, I didn't hate it. I do like I said, 7.5 is not bad, but I think I almost look at it as a step back from 7. And I feel like this one could have been better, which is crazy to think about now. But I kind of like that when I play through a game a second time and I get a different kind of... Because I play through a lot of games the first time, admittedly. I like them a lot. And then I play through it again and I'm like, it's almost more of a... like, grounded take on the game. I'm like too busy boning, when you first play it. A game, and then you kind of, I even know, like, there was the things that were annoying me in this game, like the Heisenberg's factory and stuff, but you kind of overlook some of the things are kind of annoying because you're enjoying a lot of this other stuff. But I just didn't. I actually almost want to play through it again, though, on just the easiest difficulty, and hopefully have that unlimited grenade launcher and just kick the shit out of everything and whatnot. Maybe score a few more achievements, but yeah. 7's incredible. Like, 7 is the creepiest in the series for me. But I feel like this one could have... And I'm so surprised at how short it was, because I look back on my old save, and I was like, it was like 11 and change hours. The second time I beat it in like 9, I think. But there's definitely cool stuff you do in this game, with like getting the treasures and stuff like that. A little kind of side shit you're doing. But it is just not. It's not nearly as good, honestly. And it's not even close. Like, I would almost give 7 like a 9.95. The 7's awesome. 7's awesome. Like, I mean, I'll say this: they are very different games in a lot of ways outside of the first-person view. And it's also annoying. Like the Chris stuff, like he's there doing stuff with his team behind the scenes, kind of. And he meets up with Ethan again. And he's like, Ethan, don't do this alone. You can't handle us. It's even though I've already taken out like 3 of the 4 lords, and then I'm taking out Heisenberg. And it's like, dude, I'm doing everything. Okay, it's like, cut the shit, Yeah. It's I don't know what the next one's gonna be, but like 9, what they're gonna do, but it's a cool game, but it's a step backwards from 7 in my opinion. And they did some cool stuff with like the kind of open area of the village. It's definitely a more open game. Like I said, I'm surprised it's so short. I forgot how short it was. Because I feel like the 7th one I put close to 20 hours into. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I definitely put more than 11 in. And the Baker family was cool and all that stuff. And kind of, it was just different. Just a better game. I'm actually going to. This is going up tomorrow, but Sunday. But I'm going to be going to. Well, that video will come up after, so you'll be seeing this first anyway. I'm going to pop by GameStop again and see how many like kind of dirt cheap games I can get for either the Xbox or maybe the PS4. Pick up maybe spend like $10-12, see if I get like 4 or 5 games. So there might be a game pickup video coming on probably Monday, or if I want to do 2 videos tomorrow night. Because I don't know for sure if I'll be getting it. If they just don't have a good selection of cheap games, I'm not going to bother, so that video might not happen. It's going to be based on if I actually pick some stuff up. Because I'm not going to just start stupidly spending money if I want like games I'm interested in. The $2 and $3 specials. I said we're going to be going down North Carolina next Saturday, bringing some stuff down, doing some stuff down there. So I will be filming some videos from down there. Little preview. That should be fun. Islanders are winning 1-0. The game will be over by the time I put this video up. Obviously, they were 1-0. They're playing the Predators. It's a tight. All of a sudden, the Capitals start losing a bunch of the Flyers. And all of a sudden, the Islanders, you're like, oh, they're fucked. And then all of a sudden, they're the 3rd in their division. Oh, the Penguins. So the Penguins might be tied with them, I think, or they might have jumped up. I don't know. It's such a tight race for the final, the 2 wild cards. I mean, I don't know though. I just don't know if the Islanders can get in. I don't know if they're gonna make any kind of noise. I just don't know. Because they're gonna end up playing. I said to myself, I'm like, they make the playoffs, they're gonna get stuck with the Hurricanes again. It's just how it's gonna work out. It's just a team they just struggle with. I've said it before. They are a better version of the Islanders. They have a similar play style. They just have better talent. The Islanders have some talent, but they don't have as much. Like the Hurricanes have more talent. I mean, everybody in this area would be going nuts if the Islanders and Rangers do play in the first round. That hasn't happened since '93-94, and that was the Rangers swept the Islanders. It was a bloodbath. It was bad. I think there was like one close game. The other 3 were like just absolute destruction. But the Islanders were the 8 seed, and the Rangers were the 1. They ended up winning the cup that year. The Rangers did have a tight series. The Devils, I think, the series went 7, and the Canucks series went 7. But the Islanders were not. The Islanders were coming off a conference final appearance the year before, but they were not nearly as good. And the Rangers were just much better. But I mean, it's been so long, and they both had many. The Islanders and even the Rangers had a streak, I think, where they missed the playoffs for 5 to 7 years in like the early 2000s. I think maybe late 90s, early 2000s. But they have made the playoffs enough together over that 30 years. But they've never met up. I wonder how many times actually both did make the playoffs, oddly enough. It had to be at least like 7 or 8 times. Because when the Islanders were getting back into the playoffs after not making them 7 years, they think they made the playoffs 3 years in a row. I don't think the Rangers made the playoffs those years. And then the Rangers would get in, the Islanders weren't getting in. So maybe they didn't make the playoffs a bunch of times together. Last year they did, but they both lost in the first round. The year the Rangers made the finals was 13-14, right? They didn't both make the 14-15 and 15-16, I believe they both made it. 12-13, I'm pretty sure they both made it, the strike season. I guess there probably hasn't been a ton of instances. And 17-18, did they both make it? I don't know. Baseball's been underway for a little bit here, like 7, 8, 9 games in. Yankees are doing well. Pirates are off to a good start again. They were off to a good start last year. Then came back down to earth. Dodgers are doing pretty well. I think the Brewers are doing well. I think the Tigers are doing alright early. The Mets are doing shit. I think they actually, I don't know if they won today. Let's check. They were 0-5, and then they won 2 in a row. They were up 5-4 against the Reds today, but I do not know. They might not have. They probably blew it. Let's see. Yeah, I want to say they blew it. Baseball's underway, and basketball's moving towards the playoffs. Obviously, hockey is as well. I might do actually, because I was asked about doing like a kind of hockey round before the playoffs. I might maybe when the end of the season ends, I might do a basketball and a hockey one, just talking about the playoffs. Portland's won 2 in a row. They're still locked into that 5th worst team in the league, but they kind of screwed themselves out of being. They could have ended up like a number 3 worst team. They still could. Everybody, like, I'll go to their Instagram page. It's like they can't even tank properly. They were beaten by 60 twice this year. It's the first time it's ever happened. They lost by 60 to the Heat, and I think Oklahoma City beat them by 62. Scoot Henderson's been playing better though lately, which is nice to see. And they're gonna end up with another good pick regardless. So, and they have Golden State's first round pick as well. Golden State's gonna end up in the playoff. They're in the play-in round now, and they're gonna stay there probably. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna get to a 6 seed or better. So I'm hoping they kind of lose that play-in immediately, and then Portland gets like a maybe like a 14 or 15 pick. I'm trying to think how that would work, because you'd have 16 teams in the playoffs, and then they would be the best. Well, it depends if the Lakers lost in that too. Yeah, I mean they would end up with they could end up with a 13 or 14 pick as well, which would be pretty sweet. There was a point where Warriors were not doing well, and I was like, wow, they could end up with 2 top 10 picks. It's still pretty cold here, so there's like no G sales popping up. Kind of sucks. And like I said, next weekend we're not gonna be here. So after we come back from that, I'm hoping to get a couple of good weekends. Hopefully no rain, and just see if I can get a good pull or 2 before leaving, and then see how it is down there with garage sales and whatnot. Let me do a little soft spoken here. I'm gonna kind of look at it. So it's like a little quasi, is that the word? Little mini browsing vid. I'm obviously not turning the camera or anything. I just want to look at these spring sales because there's a couple of games I'm interested in because there's a lot of like really cheap stuff. Because I want to do another gameplay here, but I like do it because I was asked about like doing, just gameplays, but like do the regular missions instead of like, usually I'm doing end game stuff or whatever. I'm just doing random crap, and that's what I did in ODST. I was playing the game, I was following the story, but I want to do that again. I obviously didn't do it in Jedi Survivor because I put that up, well after I completed it. But I was kind of looking for like maybe, because I don't have a lot of stuff out to play. I have Gears Tactics over there, Valkyria Chronicles 4. What else? Maybe Titanfall 2. That one's over there too. I'm trying to think though. What else do they have? Unless I get some games tomorrow, I could do one of those. Because all my other games are boxed up. Let me look. I'm not going to look at this. I'm going to look at my games. I'm pretty sure I've done a digital collection before. I'm pretty sure. I'm looking at what I have downloaded onto the system. If I could do a gameplay of one of these games, just kind of. No, I think I did a gameplay of Gears of War 3, didn't I? I want to say I did Resident Evil 0. Yeah, I definitely did a Resident Evil 0 gameplay. I did Gears of War Judgment. I gotta find something I'm like not gonna struggle with. Oh, I mean, when I did the Escape Dead Island one, I was starting that from the beginning of the game, I'm pretty sure. Code Veronica I have on here, maybe that. It's hard to play the older Resident Evils and you can't move and shoot it. It's actually tough to go back and play those. You know what? I could maybe do, because I could start it from the beginning, I think, or maybe play a little, and then keep it straightforward. Is maybe Silent Hill 3. I had the Silent Hill HD collection. I know I did a gameplay of 2. God, that had to be like 2020. Wow. That's a candidate. I could always start a new game of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I'll figure it out. I wonder if PlayStation is having one too. I'll have to check tomorrow if they're having some kind of spring sale. These things like to do. That means Steam might have one. Or were they already having it? I mean, there's a ridiculous. There's like limitless games that are like $3 and less. Yeah, the Xbox had some good stuff on here. Need for Speed Heat, $9. I like always want to get this game, but I just don't for some reason. All the Need for Speeds are actually on sale, and that one at $9 is expensive because the other ones I gotta find them. Where are they here? Yeah, like Need for Speed. I think this Need for Speed one is it's literally just called Need for Speed again, but I think it's more of a almost like cinematic type game, very movie, I think, kind of game. Movie feel to it, I guess. I think it's that one. That one's $6. I want to say there's other cheaper ones. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is $6 as well. Need for Speed Rivals is $6. I thought, where is... Oh, these are most played games, that's why. Let me go to the regular special, the spring sale, because I'm pretty sure... Let me filter it and free, -5, because I'm pretty sure Need for Speed Payback is, there it is, $3. I mean, shit, even if it sucks, right? Let's see some of these reviews here. 4 out of 5, way better than Unbound. I don't even want to read that, it's like a novel. Hate the cards? Oh my god. God knows what EA did. Cards, like what? I know some of these Need for Speeds haven't reviewed well either. I feel like they've kind of lost their way with Need for Speed. They got it back when Hot Pursuit originally came out, which, God, when was that? Like 2009, 10, 11, 12, something like that? Because everybody's like, oh shit. Well, here's Payback Deluxe Edition for $4.50. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is always dirt cheap. It's $3 here. I've played some of this when I had EA Game Pass. I mean, EA Play. EA's part of Game Pass now, but I played some of it. It was alright. I like the first one better than what I was playing of that one. Well, it wasn't bad. This Lost in Random game is $3. I'm always looking at this one too. Eh. This Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales here. I remember seeing this, but never. Single-player role-playing game set in the world of The Witcher that combines narrative-driven exploration with unique puzzles and card battles. $4. Double Dragon 4. Save your money. Can't play. Refusing to install, be warned. That's the review. Oh yeah, the earlier Double Dragons. Retro Brawler. I always look at the arcade classics, the Anniversary Collection, the Konami one. I have Contra on the Xbox One, and I have Castlevania on the Switch. This one has some pretty good stuff. And what do they got? Scramble, Twin B, Nemesis, also known as Gradius, Salamander, also known as Life Force, Vulcan Venture, Gradius 2, Typhoon, Ajax, and Haunted Castle, Thundercross. Haunted Castle is like an arcade Castlevania. It's like almost exactly like Castlevania. Oh, whoops. And so maybe pick up something there at some point. I think that sale's good for another 12 days. Last, was it? No, I was gonna say that. I do kind of hope there are some good games at the GameStop. Just something, spend like $10, get like 3 or 4 games. Be kind of cool. I mean, it's crazy though. Like if you go onto Amazon and eBay and stuff, like shit like Watchdog Legions, Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Something else, and these games are like under $8 new. It's pretty nuts. Did those Watchdog games just not sell well? Because I feel like everyone dropped in price like pretty fast. See what else is worth playing. Like I was looking on GameStop's site just to kind of see what's cheap, but I didn't feel like looking at each game to see if it was available in the GameStop near me. So it's just easier to go there and see everything. Like, all right. Has anyone ever played Subnautica? I always look at it because it seems cool. There was another one that seemed cool too. I can't remember what it's called. I saw. Oh, it's. I want Under the Waves, maybe. I think I'd mentioned in another video. It seemed like another mystery type, those kind of games. I was like, shit. Maybe. Keep looking live to see if the Islanders scored again or if they blown their 1-0 lead in the third period. The funny thing is, if they do miss the playoffs, it is going to be because they have 15 overtime losses. Like, if you take 4 of those away and they just have 11, which is still a lot, you're comfortably in the playoffs, so what can you do, right? I still do want to pick up the Life is Strange. I think it's True Colors. That's a cheap one. I would probably get it for the Xbox One, but that's a cheap one on eBay. I might try to pick up like one more PS5 game before leaving. I might try to keep playing Midnight Suns, actually. Maybe Ratchet and Clank.
it's crazy. And I probably said it to myself when I first played it.
But it's even more
Obvious.
the second time. Like, it is a step back from 7. Yeah, you know. I stopped this a few minutes. I was thinking about maybe pushing an hour, but I'm getting tired. I look tired. I can see. So pretty late last night for the show. Ended up
Leaving. We were out of the concert at like 11. And
we screwed around the casino for like 2 hours. 2.5 hours. Got home closer.
yeah, you got home
About 1:30.
but think of sleep to a little bit after that.
The hotel. I should say, get back to the hotel at 1:30. Then go to sleep for a little bit after that. I was probably gonna sleep like 2:30, which for me these days is back when I was younger. I wouldn't be able to go to sleep until the sun came up, and that was just periods of insomnia and stuff like that, and just anxiety and stuff. But now if I push it past 11, it's too much. Sometimes I'm in bed by like 8. I'm like, I'm just going to sleep. I can't believe that. My friend was like, we were kind of like, oh, what do you think that new Omen movie's gonna do? We're like, oh, it's gonna be like my friend said like the mid-20s. I think I was like 30s. I said 30% of Rotten Tomatoes. It's hitting at like 78%. I was like, whoa. I'm like, I'm gonna have to check that out. I was surprised by that, actually. I gotta have a video because we're going down on Saturday. So I have to have a video at least set up for Saturday. I'll probably have some for Saturday and Sunday. Then I'll start filming down there on Monday. Or maybe even on Sunday, but oh man. Anything else to look at on here? Oh yeah, that South Park Snow Day is kind of getting weak reviews, which I wasn't gonna pick it up, but it's not like the other 2 games. It's just it's like a $30 game. I forget what kind of game it is. But it's not a strategy RPG. Or turn-based RPG. Yeah, I mean, I have games here. I mean, there's plenty of stuff.